there friends, if you're new to my channel, my name's Nicole and today I'm here with a musical theater dream roles part 2 for you guys. Now, I filmed my first musical theater dream roles of top 10 roles I would love to play in musical theater, kind of not paying attention to gender, not paying attention to vocal type because I'm not a performer if you don't know, so I don't really have to pay attention to those things whenever I'm thinking about what roles I would like to play. And I had several people say that they were interested in seeing a part 2, so that is what I am here with today. I also would totally film a part 3. I've also thought about maybe filming like a video about what my dream roles were whenever I was little, because it's very different than what it is now. Or also maybe a dream roles in plays instead of musicals, so let me know if you'll be interested in seeing either of those. Got my Great Comet t-shirt on today, although I had a Great Comet character in my last set, so I didn't let myself have one in this set. Thus far, I've not repeated a show, and I'm trying to keep it that way. So let's get straight into it. My first role is in the show Newsies, which I love, and it's the character of Davy. Now, I am Davy, basically. My little sister and I have this running joke that we're Davy and Les. I love Davy. He's totally like the mom friend of the group and the super responsible Ravenclaw one, which is me. But he also has some really fun parts in the show, and I really like all of the acting bits that he gets to do. Basically, I would love to play Davy. Every time I see Newsies, I'm like, God, I'd love to play Davy. If you've been watching my channel lately, you might know of my great love for the show The Grinning Man, so of course I had to include a character from that, and I really struggled with this one because I want to play every single character in it, except for the puppets, because I know that I could never be good enough to do that. But I was like, oh, because I love Duchess Josiana, I love Prince David, I obviously love Grinpain, but I decided that my dream role is Dea from the show, partially because I think it's such an interesting character because you have to explore this whole concept of blindness and playing a blind character, which I am really fascinated by, and also she gets some really lovely bits of song as well as some really fun dialogue, like Beauty and the Beast, which is one of Dea's bigger numbers, is one of my favorite songs in the whole show, and I just think it would be so, so fun. Also, I'm already in love with the character of Grinpain, so it'd be really easy to play that part of it. Number 3 was my ultimate dream role whenever I was little, and that's Miss Hannigan in Annie. I, young, probably 7 or 8-year-old Nicole, thought that playing Miss Hannigan would be the coolest thing ever, and I can remember being young and, singing Little Girls while walking around the house, and I still think it would be a super fun role to play, especially, you know, there's obviously been these incredible comedians who have played her, I grew up on the Annie film with Carol Burnett as Miss Hannigan, which is just an inspired performance, but I think that there's so much fun stuff in the character. Obviously, you get some really fun songs like Easy Street and Little Girls. You get some really fun kind of just being a horrible person character, I think would be really fun to do. Yeah. Number 4 is Che and Evita, and I actually don't know how this one didn't make it into my first video because I love Evita. Before I saw The Woman in White, Evita was definitely my favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, and I love the role of Che so much. I think it's such an interesting way of narrating the story and of kind of providing a foil to Eva Perón. I think that Che just has some of the most fun parts. It's honestly such a cool role. And he gets to sing some amazing stuff, but also I mean, my blog is called Flower Crowns and Revolutionaries. Of course, I love a good revolutionary. Number 5 is Lauren in Kinky Boots. Now, I love Kinky Boots, which is funny because it doesn't fit with my typical taste in musicals. I love things like The Woman in White and The Grinning Man and Miss Saigon and Great Comet and Les Mis and all these depressing, dark shows. And then I really love Kinky Boots. I've been to see it, I think, 3 times since I've been here in London. And it's just such a good feel-good show, and I love the character of Lauren because she's so quirky and weird and out there, but she also has this incredible solo called The History of Wrong Guys, which almost made it into my top 10 favorite musical songs of all time video. And it's such a fun song, and it's all about her bad history with guys, which I definitely can relate to. I find Lauren incredibly relatable, and again, I love the character of Charlie Price, so it would be very easy to play having a crush on him. Number 6 is the title character of Gigi. I so wanted to see the production of Gigi with Vanessa Hudgens and Corey Cott that happened a couple of years ago. I really like the show as it's been redone. because they kind of tweaked a lot of the book, moved around songs, updated a bunch of stuff in it from the original production. And I so hope that at some point I get to see a version of it because I so enjoy the cast album and I would love to play Gigi. I remember watching the film of it whenever I was little and thinking, what a fun character. She, you know, really also gets to portray this arc. She starts out as this really young kind of schoolgirl almost and ends up this very elegant woman. And I think that both those things would be equally fun to play. Also, Gigi has like the coolest costumes. Like I love that kind of style. So I just want to wear her costumes. Number 7 is a role from the show Aida, which I love. I think is so underrated and so overdue a revival. And it's the character of Neris, which was originally, I believe, by Sherry Renee Scott. And she's kind of the princess. It's a very Glinda type character. She has this great song called My Strongest Suit, which is all about how like she's all about her appearance and she believes that what you look like is the most important thing and how you dress. And it's such a fun number. But also she has this beautiful, beautiful sad song called I Know the Truth that's kind of her accepting that the person that she thought she was going to be with loves someone else. And it's stunning, heartbreaking number. And I think should be so fun to play. She also wears these outrageous costumes. That would be really, really cool. Now, one of my favorite shows I've ever seen is She Loves Me. I saw the Roundabout Theater production 4 times the summer that it was on because I happened to be living in New York that summer, and I love the character of Amalia Balish. I got to see one of my favorite actresses ever, Laura Benanti, in the role, and I love Amalia. Like, I am Amalia. I, read a lot. I love books. I'm kind of a hopeless romantic at heart, but I can be quite, I think Amalia's rather feisty, actually. She's a bit sassy. She doesn't really want to put up with, anything from anyone. And I just love her. I think it's such a fun role. She has songs, obviously, like Vanilla Ice Cream and Will He Like Me When We Meet, which is one of my favorites. I also love Where's My Other Shoe? But I just think the whole musical is so beautiful and lovely, and the costumes and the sets are always gorgeous for it, and I would happily play any role in that show. I would even play the owner of the perfume shop. I would play Sipos. I will play anything to have a chance to be in the movie. Like, I would play a perfume bottle. I don't know. Yeah, I want to play Amalia, though. Number 9 is kind of a funny one, and it's Bach in Wicked. Now, I actually do really enjoy Wicked. It's not one of my favorites, but I like it. But the character I've always wanted to play, like, since I first saw it, is Bach. I'm not really an Elphaba person. I'm much more of a Glinda person, but I think that Bach would be such a fun thing to play. You get to be, big spoiler if you've not seen Wicked, you get to be the Tin Man later in the show, so that's really fun. But I just think that Bach's parts in Act 1 are so funny, and maybe it's just because I'm short, I've always wanted to play Bach, but I really, really would love to do that. I actually really enjoy all of his musical parts. I think also he gets so much of the fun comedy of the first act, and I love the little suits. Like, I think what this video has become is not me talking about characters I want to play, but me talking about costumes that I want to wear. Listen, Nessa, I've got something to confess, a reason why, well, why I asked you here tonight, and I know it isn't fair. Oh, Bach, I know why. You do? I'm ready. And my number 10 is Princess Anna in Frozen. Now, I've not seen Frozen the Broadway musical yet, but I've been listening nonstop to the new songs that they've released from it, and I actually love the film Frozen. Now, I do think it is a highly inferior film to Tangled, which is one of my favorite Disney movies, but I love Princess Anna so much. I've never really understood the hype around Elsa. Have never really cared for Elsa that much, but Hans is by far my favorite Disney villain. He is also my favorite Disney prince, other than Flynn Rider. Kristoff is definitely up in the running as well. And I love Sven and I love Olaf, but whenever I saw Frozen the first time, I saw Princess Anna and I was like, oh my god, that's me. All my friends say that I'm like Princess Anna. I think she's like the coolest character. So on one hand, it'd be really fun to play kind of my spirit Disney princess. She again has a really nice arc. She goes from being this kind of naive, hopeless romantic girl who I think though is really kind of tortured in a way by her childhood and by feeling so isolated. And she kind of grows through this journey that she goes on to try and help save her sister and save her kingdom to become a bit wiser and a bit more mature, and she loses, I think, some of that, you know, lack of knowledge about the world, and I think that that's really fun to play. But she also just has such great songs. All my favorite songs in Frozen are Anna's. I'm not a huge fan of Let It Go, but I really love For the First Time in Forever and Love is an Open Door, and I'm obsessed with the new song that they've released called What Do You Know About Love, which is a duet between Kristoff and Anna, and I think it's so fun. So that's definitely one of my dream roles now. So like I said before, let me know if you would like to see another one of these, and I would love it if you would tell me some of your dream roles in the comments down below, because I love hearing about the characters that people want to play, especially if they're kind of minor characters like my deep burning desire to play Bach in Wicked. Don't forget, if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will leave the links to my social medias and to my blog down below if you'd like to follow me on any of those. I'm actually filming this about a week and a half in advance, because by the time you see this, I will be packing up to get ready to go home for 2 weeks. This is my last video that I will film in this setting for a bit, but I will probably be filming, hopefully, I'm almost certain I will be filming while I'm home, so you can see my nice bookshelf setup once again. But in any case, for the last time, I guess, for a couple of weeks, goodbye from London, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!